Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel Yoga with Julia Wiley. Now if you haven't already done so, please do click on the subscribe button below so that you'll be subscribed and then you'll get updates whenever I come out with new videos. Also, if you click on the little bell symbol and choose where it says all, then you won't miss anything. Now today's session is a very slow and gentle practice all about balancing and connecting. Because sometimes our lives are just so busy that we don't take time for ourselves. So this yoga practice is to allow us to connect with ourselves and to find balance. Sometimes achieving balance can be as simple as turning our awareness inwards, listening to our body's messages. We need to slow down and reconnect with our own inner wisdom so that we can feel rejuvenated and ready to bring our best balanced selves into our days. Now we're going to start off today's session on our backs. So lie yourself down comfortably. And then just bring your hands to rest lightly on your tummy. You can have your knees bent or your legs straight, whatever feels okay for you at this moment. But just bring the attention to the breath and feel the tummy rising with the inhale and falling very gently as you exhale. Just notice the breath flowing in and out through the nose. You don't need to try to change the breathing, just observe it. And then gently hug your knees into your chest and let yourself rock side to side. It's like a little gentle back massage. Take your knees a little further away from you and notice how that focuses the pressure on the lower back, easing that out. And then bring the knees in closer towards you and notice how this moves up. So it's like a little massage on the middle back. And then trace imaginary circles with your knees, so go around and round one way and round the other way. And then hug one knee into the chest and let the other leg stretch out along the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. And then walk your hand up that leg, stretching it out. You can hold behind the knee or behind the calves. And just make it a gentle stretch, not too much. Hug that knee back in again. And then we'll swap legs. So hug your right knee into the chest this time. And stretch the other leg out along the floor. Enjoying that stretch. And then walk your hand up the leg, grab behind the back of the knee or the back of the calf muscle. Stretch that leg long, very gently bring it towards you. And breathe. And then squeeze that knee back again into the chest. I'm going to do a very gentle twist. So hook the foot behind your knee and gently press the knee over to the left, opening up your right arm to the side. Enjoy that gentle twist. And then come back to the center and hug that knee in one more time before we swap to the other leg. Hug your left knee into the chest. And then hooking the foot behind the back of the knee, gently press knee over to the right. And then look over towards the left. Lovely, gentle lower back stretch. Come back onto your back again, and again hug the knee into the chest. And then have both knees bent. Take your arms out to the side, just a comfortable distance from your body, and let both knees just flop over to one side into a very gentle stretch. And take them up and let them flop over the other side. Breathe into it, enjoying this lovely stretch. Enjoying taking this time for yourself. And then we're going to ease ourselves into child's pose. So come over onto hands and knees. Take the hips back towards the heels, maybe touching the heels. Let your head rest down and stretch your fingers out in front. Walk them forward and lengthen the arms, and take a couple of breaths here. So you feel a lovely stretch all the way up the arms and all the way up the back. And walk yourself around to one side and let yourself lower into a lovely stretch here, feeling the stretch down the side of the body. And walk yourself around the other way. Again, let your head rest down and breathe. Come back to the center now and take your left leg behind you. So you've got your hand, your leg and the back leg all in the straight line, and push the hip forward, lift up the left arm towards the ceiling and look up at it for a side plank. Now see if you can shift your weight a little bit towards the front hand, lift the back leg up into a balance. A wavering mind means we tend to have a wavering body, so it forces us to focus on what we're doing and on the here and now. Now see if you can bend that top leg, grab the foot or ankle and lift it up as high as you can, and then come back into that side plank. And ease yourself down, take it back into child's pose and breathe here. And then come back up, and we'll do that again on the other side. So take your right leg back this time, left hand up towards the ceiling, push the hips forward in line with the body and hold it here. Pressing the hand into the mat, reaching up with the top fingers. And then shift your weight a little bit towards the front and take that back leg up, holding it here, and breathe. And then see if you can bend the leg at the top, grab the foot and lift it up. If not, just stay in the last pose, and that's fine. Holding it here. And then come back again, stretching out the leg and both arms straight. And then with control, come back again onto hands and knees. Take the hips back towards the heels, stretch your arms out in front and take a breath. Onto hands and knees now. Have your hands underneath the shoulders and press into a wolf pose, looking up, hips lift, chest lifts, and then come into a cat curl, rounding the spine. Press the belly button up towards the ceiling and go back and forth with your own breath. Inhaling as you look up for wolf pose and exhaling as you come into the cat. So focusing on the breath, so it's nice and smooth, long inhales, so that when you're looking up, your breath is totally full, and then as you exhale, come slowly into the cat curl, so when you're pressing finally in the cat curl, there's no more air in your body. So just go at your own pace, back and forth a few times. Come to neutral, come down onto your elbows with your elbows close to your hands. Take your left hand out in front now and pull back, letting your head rest on your right forearm and dipping your chest towards the mat, stretching and lengthening back, enjoying this opening of the shoulder, stretch of the arm, deepening of the chest. And then lift your head. Bring your left hand back next to the other arm. Bring your right arm out in front. And again, pull back, so letting your head Rest down, stretch back with the hips, and breathe into this lovely pose. And then lift your head, bring your left hand out parallel to the right, and again dip down. You might bring your forehead on the mat, you might bring your chin on the mat. And then ease yourself so that the top of your head is on the mat. Bring your hands back, see if you can clasp them and lift the clasped hands up towards the ceiling for rabbit pose. And release that gently and press yourself back up onto hands and knees. Well done. Now tuck your toes under and press your hips up towards the ceiling. Have them hip width apart. Walk your heels down one at a time. Very gently stretching out the back of the legs. And then press both heels down towards the mat. Press the mat away with your fingertips. Letting your head completely relax here for downward facing dog. Walk your feet now up to your hands and roll yourself very slowly all the way up to standing. Well done. Now we're going to do another balance, the tree pose. So if you bring your weight onto, let's say, your right leg and bring the left foot up onto the other foot for balance, or you might like to take the leg further up your right leg. If you're bringing it up towards the top of the thigh, press the foot in and then bring your hands into Namaste at the heart center. Again, find something to focus on, something that's not moving. If you do wobble, if you do come out of the pose, come back in again very gently with no judgment. So let's be kind to each other and let's be kind to ourselves. Try not to allow any negative thoughts about yourself into your mind. Let's release from this side and take it over onto the other leg. So give the legs a little bit of a shake out. And then bring your weight onto your left leg and bring the other foot on top. Or you might like to take the leg further up, plant it into your left thigh. Nice straight body. Bring the hands into Namaste. Have a very gentle, soft focus with the eyes on something that's not moving. Ground through the foot into the ground below, like the roots of a tree. Again, don't judge yourself. Have self-compassion. And slowly release. Well done. Now bring your weight back onto this left foot. We're going to come into an aeroplane, a variation of Warrior 3. So with the arms back like a jet aeroplane, take that back leg out behind you and lean forward but not too far. And then see if you can bring yourself around one way and around the other way. Back to the center. And release or swap to the other side. It's a lot harder than it looks, but it's very good for building up strength in the ankles, which support us a lot, whatever we're doing in life. So again, hands into a jet aeroplane. Bring your weight a bit forward, lift the back leg up, don't go too far, and then lean around one way and the other way. Back to the center and release. So well done. Let's bring ourselves now up to the front of the mat. Have your feet and ankles together, nice straight spine. Reach the arms out and up overhead. Lengthen, maybe lean back a little bit if that works for you. And And then bring the arms out to the sides. Come to a flat back, pressing the back of the hands up towards the ceiling. Lengthen out through the back. And then let yourself round all the way down. Hold onto your elbows for a moment. Walk your knees one at a time, back and forth. And then bring your hands to the floor, bend your knees, walk yourself back into a plank pose. Holding it here nice and straight, making sure that it doesn't look like a downward facing dog, but that the hips are in line with the body. And we're going to come down to the mat. So either come to your knees or else lower yourself all the way down. Have the legs straight, back of the feet on the floor, and press up into cobra pose. Pressing the shoulders back and down, lifting up the chin, looking up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. And then come onto your elbows, clasp your hands, have the elbows just shoulder width apart, tuck your toes under and lift up into a plank pose. So again, you don't want your hips up here. Try and stay in a straight line, and we'll hold it here, working on the core muscles. So we're building our core strength, which helps to support ourselves in everything we're doing. Just hold it here if you can. Come down and take a break if you feel you really need to. And gently relax. Bring the feet flat. Walk your hands back again underneath your shoulders. Press up again into a cobra pose. And then take the hips back towards your heels for child's pose. Stretching your hands out in front of you. Now spread the fingers wide and press them down into the mat. Just working on all the strength in the fingers. And gently bring yourself forwards again. Now take your hands a little bit out to the sides of the yoga mat if you have one, with the fingers facing outwards, and press yourself up. Again, you don't have to come this high if that doesn't feel right for you. Just let the shoulders this time come up around your ears. So you're going to relax into it. This is called the seal pose. So it's quite different to the cobra, which is a very active pose. This one we're just going to relax into. It's a yin yoga pose. So we tend to hold these a little bit longer than most yoga poses, and relax all the muscles. You'll start to feel it probably, especially on your lower back. So just letting gravity work to stretch it out. If you do have lower back problems, this can be very good for it. So breathe into the pose. And then we're going to take it very gently back into child's pose. So very slowly, very sensitively. This should feel really good. Now this is a counter pose. By tucking the hips underneath us, we're stretching out the lower back in the other direction. And then come up onto hands and knees with the hands underneath the shoulders. Press around, looking back towards your hip. You're bringing your hip towards the shoulder for puppy dog pose, like a puppy dog trying to see his tail. And then around to the other side. Again, the hip presses towards the shoulder. Enjoy this stretch. And release. And we're going to come into boat pose. So walk yourself a little bit forward. If you can, cross your ankles behind you so you can come straight back to sitting. Otherwise, any way you like. And we're going to come straight into the boat. So arms are out in front. See if we can just bring the legs lift them up off the mat, find the balance and see how straight you can hold them. So using our breath, focusing on the breath, find a gaze point, perhaps on your big toes or the wall in front of you, and by having that gaze point we're making ourselves focus. You ground through the hips and we're using core strength to hold us in the pose. Try and find comfort in this pose, even though it can be a little bit uncomfortable. This is a great lesson for life. And then bend your knees and hug them into your chest. Well done. And stretch your legs out in front of you. Reach up overhead and come forward into a little forward fold, but we're not going to be pulling and forcing this time. Just relax into it. So let your hands rest on your legs or by the side of them. Let your head relax down, and wherever you get to, just accept it. Relax into it and breathe. So if you're up here, and that's where your body comes to, that spine, just wherever it naturally gets. Head is totally relaxed here. You can close your eyes as well if you like. And ease up from the pose very gently. Take one leg now and bring it over the side of the knee. Now if that's difficult, you can keep it on the inside of the knee. Sit up tall. Now we're going to go into a twist. So bring the opposite hand or arm across to the outside of the leg. Your other hand behind. Sit up as you inhale, and as you exhale, press into a twist and look back. Enjoying this lovely ringing out of the spine. Take a couple of breaths here. And release, and we'll do the other leg. So bring the opposite leg over or on the inside of the knee. And then bring the other hand across, or the elbow, or you might like it with the hand facing up to the ceiling. The other hand behind. Sit up with a nice straight spine, and on the next exhale, press into the twist, looking back. Really rotate. See how far you can bring the shoulder around as you ring out the spine. And gently release. And then just come to sit in a very comfortable position, but try to have a straight spine. So it could be cross-legged, or another way if you find it more comfortable. You might also like to sit on a cushion or a block. Let your hands just rest on your knees or on your lap, and close your eyes here. Just take a deep breath in and out. And then just let the breath return to normal. Have your eyes gently open now, and find a little point of something in the room to focus on. A gaze point. Just connecting to the breath, letting everything else go. And by connecting to the breath, we are connecting to ourselves. And drop your chin to your chest. Roll the head gently around one way with sensitivity, just feeling how it feels to do this all the way around. And then reverse, just gently rolling the head the other way. Bring the head up now, bring the shoulders, squeeze them up around your ears, and then let them drop. And again, squeeze them. And let them drop. Let's take a couple of breaths now. Reach overhead with your arms, stretching long. Pull back and exhale. And one more time. Reach up, stretch long, and exhale. Namaste. I hope you've enjoyed this lovely, gentle stretch to connect with yourself, to bring balance into your life. Now do subscribe for more yoga and also meditation on this channel. So enjoy the rest of your day or your evening, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.